It's your guy Elijah, and we are back with another NFL mock draft. And as you guys can see by the title, we're only doing the NFC West today. That means today's mock draft will only feature the Cardinals, the Rams, the Seahawks, and of course the 49ers. I'm only going to be doing the first 3 rounds because some of these later guys I still got to watch some film and deep dive into. But nonetheless, we're going to have a fun first 3-round mock draft. With that being said, be sure to leave a like and a comment as well if you really like the mock draft. Make sure you're subscribed. If you're not, be sure to hit that subscribe button. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into it. All right, so as you guys can see, we have all 4 teams from the NFC West highlighted. You guys can't see it because I'm blocking it, but we actually have the 3 rounds highlighted. Speed is obviously just going to be pretty quick because we don't want to sit here and wait for the computers. I did go ahead and make the care for position value a little bit higher than the standard as well as the draft for needs. I'd rather see just a lot less random lists and just let the AI kind of get as close as they really can in quotations, to what some of these front offices would really do. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into it. And again, no trades. We're not going to have any trades. I'm probably not going to do any trades till we start getting into the more serious mock drafts a little bit closer to the draft time. So probably around February and March. So it's pretty much just going to be straight on mock drafts. No trades whatsoever, at least from me. Some channels do like to do the trades. I just personally think they're a little bit hard to dictate and decipher. But with that, we got the Rams at round 1, pick 14. And I've been pretty much preaching in every single mock draft that the Rams need to do everything that the Seahawks need to do everything that they can to beef up the right side of the line. Yes, they need to go ahead and just find some type of replacement for realistically the right guard and the right tackle. Both extremely high in pressures given up this season. Both I think ranked top 5. So again, I've been preaching that every single mock draft. We're not going to sway away from that. In this one either. I'm going to go ahead and take a tackle for the Seattle Seahawks, and that ends up being Kelvin Banks, who is ranked as a top 3 tackle right now in this year's mock draft so far. And then we have the LA Rams at round 1, pick 15. And for the Rams, I also have them taking a tackle or potentially a guard flip tackle. Not that the guard plays, super high caliber this season, but at least in the earlier rounds, I do want them to somehow beef up that line and help out Stafford and keep him protected. And not just that, but Kyren Williams has been killing it in the run game. So I think he's well worth, giving an extension and also, beefing up the O-line to help him and his production as well. If there's no, top 3 or 4 tackles available, I definitely would have them looking at a cornerback. But in this case, Cameron Williams from Texas is still available. And on top of that, you also have Emory Jones, who I'm really high on, and Arante Ursary, who not only can play tackle, but is going to give you the versatility at guard as well. So it's really kind of a pick your poison. I know some people are high on Josh Simmons. I've seen Wyatt Millam's film. It's pretty good. I would definitely have Emory Jones above those 2. But I think in this case, I'm going to take Arante Ursary just because of the versatility that he gives. And I think he does end up being a higher tackle taken than pick 15, but he did fall to the Rams, so we're going to go ahead and take that. And as for the 49ers, again, I have them also looking for a top 5 tackle. If not, you need to find a top 2 safety to replace Hufanga. I think those lingering injuries really aren't going to help your team out. And with Kevin Winston still on the board, obviously Malachi Starks is gone. There could be a chance that Malachi Starks does fall to the Niners at pick 17. And I really do think their secondary could use the boost. Cornerback-wise, you could be in the running for a corner as well if you wanted to look. I would be definitely looking at Denzel Burke and Siobhan Ravel here. A lot of people are going to let Siobhan Ravel fall because of the injury. I'm going to get into a video with him in a couple days, though. And then Denzel Burke having a good year. Has had a couple games where he's been, some would say, exposed by certain receivers. But again, he plays high-caliber talent, so we kind of expect mishaps, at least at the collegiate level. But with that being said, you still do have Cameron Williams available. And again, if you're taking a top 5 tackle in the first round, that's kind of where you want to go. And I'm going to go with top 5 tackle. I've actually been taking safeties and cornerbacks for the 49ers. So this is the first time that I've actually taken a tackle for them. And again, Cameron Williams can also flip to guard, but more than likely going to play tackle at the NFL level. As for Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, he could also be a team that is looking for a top 5 tackle. They do need to replace Beachum, who's getting up there in age. And Josh Simmons is still there, and Emory Jones still there. The only other route that I would honestly take at this point would be an edge or a linebacker. Could be a little high for certain linebackers, but I really think that edge would just be your best bet here. Continue to protect Kyler. He's playing tremendous football this season. James Conner's playing good football this season. Just go ahead, beef up the trenches. And it's really between Josh Simmons and Emory Jones for me here. I'm going to take Emory Jones just because I'm higher on him than the other 2 prospects. Not to say that those 2 can't go before Emory Jones, but on my mock draft today, we're going to take Emory Jones. We're getting into round 2, and we have the Seahawks on the board at pick 246. And this is really where I still have them dipping into the line. At that point, you've taken already a tackle that's going to give you some versatility. See what's available on the board. You could have, again, a tackle move into guard. Wyatt Millam still being here could be a gift for Seattle, but you also want to take a look at the guard play. You do have Tyler Booker, who's ranked very high, as well as Luke Kandra for the guards. Kandra's probably going to rank a little bit higher once everybody tests and stuff like that. But I think right now it's really between Wyatt Millam and Tyler Booker. And since we've already got a top 5 tackle in this class, why not take probably the best guard available in this draft class as well in Tyler Booker from Alabama? That immediately takes care of the right side of the line, and it gives you a boost, at least not only in depth, but it lets you have 2 guys that you can immediately plug in and have you work at a high caliber level and protect Geno Smith as well as K9, who are both having pretty good years as well. And we get into the Niners in round 2, pick 49. And this is where I have them actually taking Hufanga's replacement at safety. So depending on really who's available, and if you don't find a safety replacement for Hufanga, you can also look into the cornerback room. Clearly, a lot of them were taken a little bit higher than I really typically expected compared to some of my other mock drafts. So I'm actually going to look at the linebacker room because I honestly think Fowles, Campbell, and Greenlaw, who's been injured now twice within the past season, aren't going to help boost you up in the future. If you are going to keep anybody, it's probably going to be Fowles. Campbell and Greenlaw probably on their way out pretty soon. You could also look at linebackers, find someone that can help out with some depth as well as get into that rotation early. Jack Kaiser is one of those guys, but Jalen Walker being available is a gift for the Niners as well. I did see Harold Perkins go a pick prior, so the Niners probably could have been licking their chops at a linebacker like Harold Perkins joining the fray with Fred Warner. But even Jalen Walker out of Georgia, who's been a talented prospect and a talented backer for Georgia for now, 2 or 3 seasons now, he's a tremendous pick to take at round 2, and it gives you some depth. Again, I didn't see any corners or safeties that looked too appealing. You could take your chance on Sicario Davis if you wanted to that early, but I mean, outside of that, Jabbar Muhammad might rise up. I really wouldn't take any of these other, corners. That's just me personally. Still got to watch a little bit more tape, but at that point, I definitely would have taken Jalen Walker with the 49th pick. And then we get to the Cardinals. This is another team who's probably going to, this is pretty much just going to be a defense-heavy mock draft for the first 3 rounds, at least for the NFC West, because a lot of them do need some help on defense. We're going to get into the edges here, and I really thought there was going to be some other edges available, at least on my other mocks. That's what I had. So we're also going to have the Cardinals look at a linebacker as well. And if Jack Kaiser's available, probably going to be the backer that they're going to end up taking. I think Jack Kaiser does rise up boards. I think he's going to be higher ranked than what PFF has him right now. Probably, I would say, in the top 5 for linebackers for sure. Maybe at number 5. Definitely have him higher than Lander Barton. But Jack Kaiser has a tremendous tape, and he's been playing very good football for Notre Dame. So that does take care of that problem right there for the Cardinals, obviously. So getting into Seattle, now that we've beefed up their offensive line, we can sort of take care of their defense. And my biggest thing is just helping them build alongside Byron Murphy and the talented secondary that they already have. Linebacker wise, and his any other edges outside of Byron Murphy, they're pretty much up there in age. So that's probably what you're gonna want to be looking for in the third round if you're the Seattle Seahawks. Barrett Carter from Clemson playing very good football, as well as Josiah Stewart. There might be some guys like Jay Higgins as well as Nicholas Martin who rise up in boards. Even Eric Gentry, who plays really good football for USC, could go off the board. I think at this point, I'm taking anybody between Josiah Stewart and Barrett Carter. I think Barrett Carter is going to be the one to go. Let's get some youth in the middle of the field. Let's help out Byron Murphy as well. And then we have the Rams at the 79th pick. And I have Rams still in the running for the secondary since they took care of the offensive line early. This really, again, I think Muhammad's going to rise up draft boards. One corner that I really like. Dorian Strong having a very good year. I was going to say a strong year, but I didn't want to be cliche. But I think here I'm going to take Jabbar Muhammad. He's got some great speed, got great technique. He's playing good football for Oregon as well. I do think he's going to rise up draft boards, especially after pro days and the combine as well. Obviously, when we see corners test extremely well at the combine, they tend to rise up more than what at least they're ranked now. So I think that's going to play a huge role in Jabbar Muhammad's draft stock. And getting into the 49ers at round 3, pick 81, if you're not finding a linebacker here, which I had them take one earlier, you're pretty much looking for that safety and that CB. I was going to say center back. And that CB to potentially boost your secondary. So 2 options here. I wouldn't take the safeties here. I would take Dorian Strong if I could. And I would probably... Yeah, I'm not going to lie. If I was the Niners here, pick 3, 81, because you still have another pick available. Essentially, some of these safeties are probably still going to be available at pick 101. I would take a corner right here just to be on the safe side and make sure that you get a top corner, at least a top 10 corner. That's going to be Dorian Strong. So even as we've seen a safety go off the board. Cardinals at pick 84. Looking at where I have the Cardinals here, again, you're just going to keep pretty much drafting for depth. And this could go either way. You can take a cornerback if you want for depth. You do have Max Melton who's waiting for reps, or you can go ahead and just continue to beef up the offensive line. So we'll take a look at the tackles, offense, and then the guards as well. Donovan Jackson and Tate Rutledge. And then you also have a Johnny Cornelius. If we just look up snap alignment, looks like Cornelius only lines up at tackle. Essentially, they are looking for tackle depth anyway, but we could be looking for a little bit of versatility. Full-time guard from Rutledge, as well as Donovan Jackson. Oh, Donovan Jackson actually gives you a little bit of versatility at left tackle. So I think for that sake, again, I like the versatility when you have it in the trenches, even on the defensive side or the offensive side. I think it adds to your game, and I think it does boost you up as a prospect for sure. And hurts my heart, actually. Let me just side note it. We're in the 3rd round, and Caleb Johnson and Harold Vannon are still here. I have both of those guys as first-round prospects, and I can't believe that the AI is just letting them slip down here. And that actually hurts my heart so bad. But nonetheless, they're gonna test well. Getting into the Rams, I'm gonna go ahead and have the Rams look at the edges and the linebackers here. Help boost up their defense. Patrick Payton could be in the running here. Again, I do see Jay Higgins and Nicholas Martin getting higher, going higher up draft boards than what they're ranked now. I actually really like Nicholas Martin's game. He is a willing tackler, honestly a tracker towards the football. I'm going to take Nicholas Martin here at pick 100 for the Rams. And then we're going to get into the 49ers to cap off our NFC West mock draft, at least for the first 3 rounds. And we're at pick 101. And again, this, like I said it earlier, we're just going to be looking pretty much at depth for your secondary. And like I said, some of these guys were still going to be available. So we're going to take the best safety available in Keon Sabb. Again, you kind of want to get a replacement for Hufanga. So you kind of want to make sure that you at least have a little bit of insurance. I think Hufanga is a great and talented safety, but you want to make sure that you got someone at least waiting in the helm. So again, there you guys have it for the NFC NFC West mock draft for the first 3 rounds. Again, first one that I'll be doing for the NFC West. We'll have some more as we get a little bit closer to mock draft, but we're going to try to get through every single division for the NFL. So be sure to tune in next video. Again, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Let me know if some of these players you think are not going to any of these NFC West teams, especially if you're an NFC West fan. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to this draft. Appreciate all the comments. Be sure to leave a like. Be sure to smash that sub button as well. I'm going to see you guys next video. Peace.